Welcome to the channel, my name's Mageborn and today I will be reviewing Diablo 3 after 100% completion. As you can see, I have all the achievements on Diablo 3. I have also tried every class at some point to the max level and high paragon. Diablo 3 was published by Blizzard Entertainment for PC and Mac in May 2012. It launched on PS3 and Xbox 360 a year later in September 2013, and then on the PS4 and Xbox One systems in August 2014. In November 2018, it came to the Nintendo Switch. Diablo 3 was a sequel to the highly successful Diablo 2. It was first announced on June 28, 2008, but development began on Diablo 3 way back in 2001. The game underwent many revisions over the years, including the art style and a switch to Blizzard's own in-house physics engine instead of the Havoc physics engine as previously used. When the game first launched, there were 5 character classes to choose from: the Barbarian, the Demon Hunter, the Monk, the Witch Doctor, and the Wizard. The Barbarian was originally the only returning class from Diablo 2. Jay Wilson, the lead developer on Diablo 3, said that the male Barbarian is the same character as from Diablo 2, just 20 years older. The Barbarian's resource is Fury, which is generated by attacking and will slowly deteriorate over time and with skill usage. Barbarians have a number of iconic skills such as Whirlwind, Earthquake, and Battlecry. They are a melee-based class using 1- or 2-handed weapons. They also have their own weapon category no one else can use, called Mighty Weapons. The Demon Hunter uses bows and crossbows and is primarily a range class. They have 2 resources, Discipline and Hatred. Discipline slowly regenerates over time and is mainly used for defensive abilities. Hatred is generated from attacking and is mainly used for offensive abilities. The Demon Hunter has a lot of iconic abilities. Just to name a few, they have turrets, multi-shot, and vault. The Monk is a melee character using martial arts to defeat its foes. The Monk's resource is Spirit, which generates through attacking, but unlike Fury, does not diminish over time. The Monk uses fist weapons and die bows. The Monk is a very unique class in Diablo, and most of their skills are iconic, such as Exploding Palm, Seven-Sided Strike, and Mystic Ally. The Witch Doctor is the classic pet character. It is based on shamanism and voodoo culture. The Witch Doctor uses mana as its resource, which can regenerate over time, and some skills generate it. Witch Doctors wield ceremonial knives and mojos. They also have their own voodoo masks for helmets. Witch Doctor skills are very different and iconic, from their zombie dogs to their poison darts, and you can't forget their fetishes. The Wizard is the spiritual successor to the Sorceress from Diablo 2. Their main resource is Arcane Power, which generates quickly from abilities. A Wizard uses lightning, fire, and ice against its foes, and has the iconic Hydra returning from Diablo 2, and a number of other well-known skills such as Blizzard and Meteor. Wizards use staffs and wands as well as a focus. With the Reaper of Souls expansion and the Necromancer add-on, 2 new classes were added, the Crusader and the Necromancer. The Crusader is similar to the Paladin from Diablo 2, however they are a more martial wing of the Church of Zakarum. The Crusader uses a variety of combat skills, utilising a shield and a flail. The Crusader uses Wrath as its resource, which is generated by attacking and being attacked. The Crusader has a number of iconic abilities such as Steed Charge and Blessed Hammer. The Necromancer was described as a reimagining of the Diablo 2 Necromancer. Necromancers control the dead. They can reanimate corpses to fight for them. Necromancer's resource is Essence, which is generated by attacking with primary skills. The 3 aspects of the Necromancer's abilities are Blood, Bone, and Corpses. They have a number of iconic abilities such as Corpse Explosions, Skeleton Mage, and Blood Siphon. Necromancers can use scythes. The story of Diablo 3 is pretty basic when it comes to action RPGs. The game is based within the world of Sanctuary and is set 20 years after the events of Diablo 2. Deckard Cain is back, and this time with his ward Leah. While they are in the Tristram Cathedral, a falling star hits the building and creates a massive crater. Deckard Cain disappears and you must search for him. Upon finding Deckard Cain, you also learn that the angel Tyrael has forsaken his angelic power due to apathy of the angelic brothers and sisters. Now immortal, he was the falling star that fell from the heavens. With the help of Tyrael, you must try and stop the lords of hell and destroy the demon legions. The launch of Diablo 3 did not go very smoothly. A number of bugs and crashes caused a large number of players to be unable to play. The server stability was another huge problem. Luckily, today's Diablo 3 has none of these issues, but the game is over 10 years old now. One of the main issues a lot of players had when the game launched was the real money auction house. Small disclaimer here, I like the real money auction house and made a good few £100 from it, but I understand why it was problematic. The real money auction and the gold auction house were both closed down on March 18th, 2014. I have played a lot of Diablo over the years, from Diablo 1 to the most recent and worst Diablo game, Diablo Immortal. So I may be a little biased when it comes to Diablo games, as action RPGs are my favourite genre of games. When Diablo 3 first launched, there was a large group of us playing it together. That sense of community probably also changes my memories of the launch, as I fully enjoyed it. I remember we were having a mini competition to see who could finish the game first solo. I was playing a demon hunter at the time and was 100% glass cannon build. I could kill things really fast, but died from one hit to anything. The stress of those hours of gameplay probably aged me about 40 years. Managing to finish the game first without ever being able to take a hit is still something I am very proud of. The itemization of Diablo 3 is rather simplistic compared to most action RPGs. Some people hate this and some people love this. I don't mind it too much, as I do find the crafting in games like Path of Exile can get way too complicated. In Diablo 3, the items are pretty straightforward. You know which items you need for your build to work, and you know what stats those individual items should have. It normally just comes down to enchanting the gear you found or farming for one with specific stats. No complicated crafting needed. The downside of this is that nearly every single person playing a similar build to you will have the exact same items. I don't really care about this, but some people do. The general gaming loop for Diablo 3 is similar to any other action RPG. You kill monsters to gain experience and items, and these allow you to kill stronger monsters, which in turn give you more experience and better items. Diablo 3's progression system is a little different than a lot of other games in this genre. Most RPGs will give the player points to spend on different attributes or skills as you level up. Diablo 3 has done away with that. Those stats are now on the items. The skill system is also very bare compared to a lot of other action RPGs or even Diablo 2. You automatically unlock skills as you level up, but you can only fit a set number on your bars to use, so you must choose which skills are best for your build. Once you select a skill, you can then choose one rune from a number of runes to empower that skill, changing how it works. This simplistic skill system is again something people either love or hate. If I am honest, 90% of people that play action RPGs and push the endgame would most likely be following some sort of online guide anyway. So having 6 choices to make or 160 choices, either way, most people end up making none of those choices themselves. However, saying that, for the people who do like theory crafting and building their own builds, that isn't really an option with Diablo 3, as there's not a lot of options. The gear and the skills mesh together in the set pieces that are available for each class. These set pieces can change how certain skills work, but in most cases, they increase the power of those skills in an insane degree. This means that nearly every building game will utilise one of the many sets. The one area where I think Diablo 3 outshines most action RPGs nowadays is the combat. You feel like a god of destruction tearing through hordes of monsters on Diablo 3. It has the right pace and difficulty options to make sure you can play the game at your own pace. For me, I like the general gameplay of action RPGs to be pretty relaxing. I can sit back and spend 10 hours farming monsters. However, I do think there should be challenging content to do when you are in the mood for a challenge. In Diablo 3, the way they did this was to introduce rifts, Nephilim rifts and greater rifts, with greater rifts being designed to be the hard content. For me, this would have been fine if there had been additional boss content on top, some forms of pinnacle bosses that actually have challenging mechanics and worthwhile rewards. Currently, Diablo 3 endgame bosses are the bosses at the end of the Greater Rifts, which are not mechanically heavy fights. They can get pretty boring pretty fast. I am also not a huge fan of timed content. Greater Rifts have to be completed within a set time. Each time you kill a champion pack of monsters, they will drop balls that increase your completion bar. Once it is full, the boss will spawn and you have to kill it before the time runs out. My general feeling is that artificially increasing the difficulty of something just by adding a timer is rather cheap game design. Now, I know I've mentioned a lot of negatives, however, I cannot express how much the combat feel makes the hour-to-hour gameplay so much fun. Saying that though, if Diablo 3 had never started doing seasons, even if they were all nearly lackluster, would I have ever played Diablo 3 again after getting 100%? Probably not. I would recommend Diablo 3 to anyone that has not tried it, or even to those who tried it a few years ago and did not touch it again. The improvements Blizzard have made over the years have definitely helped Diablo 3. If nothing had been changed, then my review would be very different. With the release of Diablo 4 a few months away, a lot of people might be getting the Diablo itch again. If you can grab Diablo 3 in the sale for a decent price, give it a go. When it comes to the achievements for Diablo 3, as with all action RPGs, there are some real grindy ones. If you're looking for a quick completion, this is not the game for you. On Xbox achievements, it has the 100% listed as a 5 out of 10 difficulty and estimated time for completion at 90 to 120 hours. The 5 out of 10 difficulty I wouldn't agree with. I don't remember there being any difficult achievements, just grindy ones as I said. If you like action RPGs, this is definitely one of the easier ones to complete. Overall for me, Diablo 3 does have its negatives, the story, the endgame and some of its art choices, but saying that, Diablo 3 still pulls me back every few months to try out the seasons, and I have fun every time I come back. I would give Diablo 3 a solid 7 out of 10.